Now, the problems and prospects of a world with multiple centres of power or influence has been the focus of a major conference in Moscow. Experts and politicians assess the viability of the contrasting unipolar model with just one power centre, which they say is supported by the United States. Our correspondent Dmitry Klohovsky was there.
Is multipolarity the answer to the world's growing instability? As Russia's top politicians are continuing to suggest the world with a single pole of power is inherently unstable, not to speak about its justness, experts are trying to understand whether it will work. After the USSR collapsed, the US remained the only superpower, and the bipolar system of global power sharing was replaced by a unipolar one.
There should be a synthetic approach, joint decision-making and implementation. A power generating instability can't dictate its directives to other actors. They simply won't be accepted. And Russia, as a historically multicultural state, understands this idea well and propels it.
Russia's growing frustration with the existing situation saw its climax in President Putin's much-publicized speech at the Munich Security Conference.
I believe that in the contemporary world, the unipolar model is not simply unacceptable, but also impossible. Not only because today no power will have sufficient military and political resources to create a viable unipolar model. This model can't and won't work because it lacks moral base underlying contemporary civilization.
President Putin didn't restrain himself to vague warnings and went on to openly accuse the US of extending its influence and providing national security at the expense of other countries. Experts say the remarks on security concern the Iraqi and Iranian problems. But the hottest issue for Russia is America's decision to deploy its missile defense elements in Eastern Europe in spite of Moscow's objections. And Moscow isn't alone in its quest for a world with more consensus and less imposed decisions.
That India has always been for a multipolar world, and we believe that most of the problems today are from the unipolar system, but we also believe that multipolarity is definitely on the cards, because if not politically or militarily, even at least economically.
Multipolarity is also one of the declared goals of China's foreign policy. Chinese President Hu Jintao made it clear in his Moscow speech as he was inaugurating the Year of China in Russia.
Strongly promoting the multipolar model, Russia, joined by such rising superpowers as India and China, is in fact challenging the US trade and political domination in world affairs. The unipolar world has indeed undergone a series of crises, questioning its viability. But it still has to be seen whether the reasons and the motivation of those defending the multipolar world have their roots in political altruism or real politics. Dmitry Klohovsky, Russia Today, Moscow.
Now, for more than 50 years, Mossad has been one of the world's